So chapter 2 is longer, and I think I scheduled 3 weeks for this. It's a long time, but you have 3 labs. So you think 3 weeks, it's a long time, but actually you have 3 labs to do. And you also have a quiz. You also have a project due. So it's a lot of work. Okay, chapter 2 is about data and expression. So in this chapter, we are going to go through character strings and concatenation, escape sequences, declaring and using variables, etc. And we will definitely do the first 2 today. And I think we can do some of this also. Okay, so let's start. So here it explains what a string literal is. A string literal. It's represented by putting double quotes around the text. If you look at it, this is a string literal. As soon as you have the double quotes, it is a string literal. Literal means the value, right? So a string literal simply means a string value. An int literal, for example. So what is an int literal? This would be an int literal, an integer, right? And so this is a string literal, okay? And this is also a string literal, even though you have digits, because they are within the quotation marks. Anything within the quotation marks is a string literal. So this is 1 character, but because of the double quotes, it's a string literal. And all these, even though you look at these are digits, but because they are within double quotes, they are string literals. They are strings, basically. They are not numbers anymore. Okay, this is not an expression anymore. It's string. This is string. So that's what that is. Any questions? Let me ask you this. Oops. Is this a string literal, everybody?
I'm gonna say no.
No, because it doesn't have quotes.
It doesn't have double quotes. So this is actually an int literal, an integer literal. It's an integer. So it's not a string literal, but now it is. Okay, that's the difference. Every character string is an object in Java. So this is a character string, right? This is a character string. They are called objects. Remember at the beginning, in chapter 1, we said Java is an object-oriented programming language. Everything in Java is an object. So this string literal is an object defined by the string class. So string, that's the data type. That's the type. It's a class. And so this is a string. Okay, each one of them is a string. Every string literal represents a string object. So this is a string object. Okay, questions? Let's look at the printline method. Some of you may read it as println. I read it as printline, so it doesn't matter as long as you know how to spell it. From chapter 1, we saw how println is used, right? This is a method. A method is a tool. It's like a function. It's a function, actually, right? And so you use this method and it will accomplish what you want it to do. Okay, you don't have to know how it does it, but it does it for you. That is a method. So we use this method to print a character string. And the system.out, this is an object. And this println is a method of this object. Okay, so as I said, out means out onto the screen. So this represents the destination, the monitor screen, right? To which we can send the output. So we invoke the method named println through the object system.out. And you don't quite understand this yet. You just need to remember this is how you do it. So this is the object. This is the method from the object of that object. You invoke we call that the key terminology is invoke, which also is call. We invoke this method or we call this method to accomplish the output. Okay, so once again, this is the object and this is the method of that object. So it's just like you have an object car, okay, a vehicle. What is one function the vehicle can perform? Think about it, everybody.
Can drive.
Yes, definitely. Drive, right? Reverse, brake, crash. No, not crash. Reverse, brake, drive, park. Those are all the functions or methods of a car. So the car, the vehicle is an object. The methods are drive, reverse, etc. So here, this is the object. One of the methods of this object is print line. That's what this is. And so to call the method, the syntax is using this dot. Okay, so object and then dot, and then followed by the method name. And for every method, whenever you call a method, you always have to have the parentheses. Okay. And because you want to output a string, you have to give it the double quotes. That's why you must have the double quotes around the string. Okay, any questions? So we call this, whatever is within the parentheses, we call that parameters. That is the information provided to the method. Okay, so we call that parameters. Any questions? Okay. So that is the print line. Another way, let me move this. I need to move this, otherwise I cannot see. Okay, move it up there. Good. Okay, so you already know, right? This is an object. It has many methods. Another method it has is called the print. So we have print line and print. The difference is print line means it prints a whole line. Okay, print line, it prints a whole line, including the new line character. Print, simply print. It doesn't go to the next line. That's the difference. Therefore, anything printed after a print statement will appear on the same line. Okay, let's look at this example. So once again, this is the class header, right? The class body, beginning, ending, and then public static void main. That's the main method, the method header, the beginning of the body of the method, the ending of the method body. Within it, there are several statements. Let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 statements. This is simply ignored by the compiler, right? Okay, so that's the structure of this program. Let's look at this. This is the object. Dot is, it's called the dot operator. Okay, it's an operator actually. It's not a period. It's an operator. That means it has a function. So object dot and then the method name print. So 3, because it's print, it doesn't add the new line character. So you see 3 is there, right? Followed by dots. And then the next one, system.out.print, because it doesn't add a new line character. So this 2 will go on the same line. And then 1 on the same line, right? Because they are all print. 0, the same line. And then this one is print line. So after this lift off, the mouse pointer will go to the next line. So lift off. And so after this, the mouse pointer will go to the next line. And so when you print this, you have this on the second line. That's how this works. Any questions, everybody? Okay. So that's the difference between print and print
I
line.
do got a
Yes.
question actually.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, is there a reason to do that, like, instead of just like writing out all that in just one line?
Okay, right now you don't see the purpose, right? You think, oh, why do you bother to do that? Why don't I simply say system.out print line 3210 lift off? Yes, right now you see that, but just know that you have this tool here, right? You can use, and you never know, when you begin to write more complicated programs, you will need it. Right now you don't see that yet.
Okay.
A great question, though. It's just like, you see, I drive a Tesla, and it gives me all these functions, self-driving, autopilot, you know, all those things, and the video games. I don't use it, but it has it. That means if you want to play video games there, or if you want to have a fire burning in the car on the screen, you can. But do I want to use it? No. I just drive home and school, right? So why do I need that? But it provides that just in case, and you never know. So that's why you see these methods that you don't think you will use them, but you might one of these days. Okay, good. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, do you need, yeah, I don't think you need to do an exercise, do you? Do you need an exercise for that? Let's do an exercise. How about this? You write your first name and last name in one line, but using two statements. Okay. Okay, so very good. That is correct. But I would put print line for the in the last statement because you want it to go. The next statement you don't want it. The next output you don't want it to continue, right? Yes. So okay. So John Woolens, you don't have a space. It's how do you put a space there? If you look at your output, right?
Wait. Don't you put a space after the
Okay,
first
let's
word?
run. Let's run.
There we are.
Very good. So you see, whatever you place inside the quotation marks will be displayed, right? If you don't have a space, no space. If you put a space there, there is a space. So it's as simple as that.
All right.
That's great. Correct, everybody.
Let me stop sharing.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say I was gonna stop sharing.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So this is just to show you the difference between print and print line. Any questions? Anyone else who wants to share?
I do.
Okay, let's have one more. Dylan, let's look at yours then. I see that speaking. I think someone else wanted to share also. Okay.
I did
Okay.
line and then print to see if it would be on the same line, but it made two lines.
Yes. And why?
Well, I'm not sure. I thought it would be on the same one.
Did you see what we saw just now?
Easy, because he put the print line on the top one instead of the bottom.
Oh,
I did not see what you just said now.
The print line you put, take the ln off.
Does it go on the bottom one?
okay, everybody. So now the next thing we want to discuss is string concatenation. Concatenation, it's a difficult word to pronounce, but it's concatenation. It means combining two things or two or more things together. So the string concatenation operator is the plus sign, okay? So the plus sign. You can add strings together, combine them together. So append one string to the end of another. So if you look at this, oops, this is a string itself, and you want to add Angeli to it. So you just put the plus sign there, Angeli. Pretty simple. It can also be used to append a number to a string, okay? A string literal cannot be broken across two lines in a program. This is very important to remember, everybody. Look at this statement. Look at this statement. This is incorrect. You cannot have hello here and then go to the next line, mom. You cannot do that. You cannot break it. A string literal cannot be broken. Okay, so to do this correctly, you have to do it like this. Look at this. Hello, this is one string, right? Using the string concatenation operator and append the other string. Oh, go up. Okay, append the other string here. So that's how you do that. You do not do it this way. That's not correct. That's not correct. This, it keeps doing that. This is not correct, everybody. Okay, so remember that. Any questions?
Someone asked if that's considered white space.
Which one? Which one is white space?
I'm not really sure, but that's what Derek asked.
Oh, in the chat.
Yes.
Okay. Is that considered white space? No, this is not white space. This is not white space. This is simply wrong here. Simply, you cannot have two lines. You cannot break a string into two lines. Okay, this is white space here, right? That's the white space you want. So if you want to break it to two lines, you need to concatenate them. Let's look at this program. Okay, this is a more elaborate program. So once again, class header, beginning, ending, and then method header, beginning, ending, right? And this is the body. It consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 statements. So let's look at the first statement. This prints out a whole line. We present the following facts for your, so because it sometimes when you write your program, it's too long. One line is too long. So you break it into two lines for easier reading. And this is that situation. So how do you break it if it's a string when it's too long? You break it into two strings and concatenate them. And that's how you do that. Okay, look at that, right? And so you have this ending, the string, and then this string concatenator can be in this line or in this line. It doesn't matter as long as they are two strings. Okay, and this statement simply prints out a new line character. You don't have anything, but remember, print line prints out a new line character. Therefore, you have empty space here, empty line. That is produced by this. Okay, right? And then this one, so if you look at this, this is just one string, it's printed out. And this is a string literal here, concatenated with a number. So if you go back, here it says, it can also be used to append a number to a string. And that's what that is. Okay. So here we are appending this number to a string. So you concatenate them. And this is a string. Concatenation operator, this is a string and a number. And here, this is a string, concatenation, a number, put them together. And then, so, okay, let me erase this and I will explain this a little bit more clearly. So if you look at this, okay, this is a string. And you concatenate a number, you append a number to this string. So now this is a longer string. Now this becomes a whole string, one string. And then you concatenate this string to the end, right? So using this concatenation operator. So now this whole thing becomes one string. And that's what you see here, right? Okay, that's called string concatenation. Any questions, everybody?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Is it really necessary to do it if it's still all on the same line?
Yes, because this right here, okay. Oh, and once again, I think someone, I'm not sure if it is you, Dylan, who asked the print line and print method, is it necessary to have it? Is it necessary in these cases? Maybe not, because it's so simple, right? But in later life, your semester life, you will experience this, especially when this is a number. You cannot put it into a string because it's a number. Okay, this number might come from somewhere. You don't know. That's when we talk about variables. So just to answer your question shortly, yes, it's necessary. String concatenations. Okay. Any other questions? No? Okay. So this is used for arithmetic addition, but the function it performs depends on the type of the information on which it operates. If both operands are strings, or if one is a string and one is a number, it performs string concatenation. So come back. Okay, let's look at this. This is a string, right? And this is a number. So one of them, if both operands are strings, or if one of them is a string, one is a number, it performs string concatenation. So that's why this performs string concatenation, because one is a string, the other one is a number. That's what it meant. Okay. If both operands are numeric, it adds them. The concatenation operator, the plus operator, is evaluated from left to right, but parentheses can be used to force the order from left to right. So if you look at this, it performs this concatenation first, left to right, and then it performs this concatenation. Okay, that's what that means. Questions? So let's look at this one, okay? Once again, class header, beginning, ending. I'm repeating this so many times. Method header, beginning, ending. Two statements. Okay, this is a string. And the concatenation operator, this is a number, but because one is a string, so this makes it into a string. It appends this to the end of this string. And so now this becomes one string after that operation. And this is a number, this is a string, so it makes it into another string. And then you can see this is the output. Versus this one, okay, this is a string. Here, because of the parentheses, this has priority. So you will do the addition first, which gives you 69, and then you append that 69 to the end of this string. So this is what you have. That's the difference. I will give you a minute to digest that. Okay.
So you have to use parentheses in order to add?
If you do not have parentheses, there is no precedence rule. So it will add this to the string, append it to that string, and that becomes one string after you do that, and then append this to that string. But with this one, because of the parentheses, it performs the addition first. And so it's 69. And then you append that 69 to the string. So that's what this is saying, okay? That's what this is saying. The plus operator is evaluated from left to right, but parentheses can be used to force the order. And here, this parenthesis is forcing the order. It's forcing this addition of numbers to be performed first. Any questions? Okay. So let's look at this. Okay, don't look at the answer at the end. Just look at this. Just train your thinking. So what is this? What do you call this?
Variable.
No, what is this? What do you call this?
A string.
A string. A string and a string concatenation a number. So you concatenate them, right? And this is a string here. And so because of this parenthesis, so you will perform the addition first. That will be 65 appended to y. This is a string. So what will be output with this one?
350.
350.
And then, well, 300.
3,050.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, because this is a string. Okay, let me just clear this. So you will, because it's evaluated from left to right, everybody, you look at this expression first, right? Oh, one of the operand is a string, so this will be appended to it. Now this is a string, right? And this is another one. So this expression, you are appending this number to the end of that string. So that's the answer there. Okay. My internet connection is unstable. Okay. It doesn't work. Okay. And for this one, let's look at this one. Let's figure this out. From left to right, what does that give you? Is this a string?
No.
No. Okay. Think logically, everybody. Remember, I said computer science programming really trains your logical thinking, your critical thinking. So when you evaluate this, you look at this. Is this a string? No, it's a number. Okay, plus, is this a string? No, a number. So they will add together, be added together. That will give you 350, right? That's a 0. And then it's now you have 350 plus z. Is this a string? No, it's a number, but is this a string? Yes. So
Yeah.
it will perform string concatenation. And that is the output there. Okay.
That's correct. The bottom one, how it's put.
Yes, the bottom is correct.
Okay.
Yes. Did you have a question, Mia, about the bottom one?
Yeah, that was just my question, because I guess it was just different how it was in the previous or slides that you had in the string concentration.
Concatenation.
Or yes, sorry. Yeah, how it said hello and then it had the plus and then mom shifted down to the bottom, because that was just my question to see if Z would have been on the bottom because it
No.
had the plus.
Oh, no, that doesn't matter.
Okay, that was just my
Look
question.
at you look at this. Are you talking about this one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is meaningless, to be honest with you. This is meaningless. It's simply showing you if you want to break up a string, you need to use the string concatenator to add them. You cannot simply do it like this. That's not okay. So but this example itself is meaningless. You can simply put it on one line. This is just saying if you want to break up a string, if you have two strings, right, two lines, you have one string on two lines, you need to end one string and plus and beginning with another string. Here, okay, if you look here, a number, so you add them together. That's 350. And then, so this is a number and this is a string, you concatenate them, then you have 350Z colon. Any other questions? Oh, I kept it. So, any other questions, everybody? So now go back to your previous program. Okay, go back to your previous program and simply use string concatenation to print out your first name and last name and a statement on one line in one statement. So you will print out your first name, your last name, and a statement in one statement using string concatenation. Okay. Question.
I tried to play
This
with
meeting is being recorded.
I tried to play with the space, but I couldn't get it to the spacing in the printout to say my first name, last name, space, and then my message.
Okay. First of all, you need to concatenate first name and last name. Also, you didn't do that. So to add a space to it, how about let's have someone else look at someone else's. Yeah, Kevin, can you concatenate first name and last name? Oh, okay. Okay. So
Yes, I'm done.
Darnell, you wanted to share?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's look at it.
Where is it? I think it's right here.
Okay. Yes, Darnell, if you look down there, yes. yes. Darnell McClendon, I love you, bro. So this is, and Kevin, you see that how you can add a space, right? Remember, anything you want to print out, you just put it inside the quotes. So if you leave it there, so if you want to add a space after your first name or last name, just add a space inside the quotation marks. That's how you do it. Okay, good. Kevin, you got that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Any other questions, everybody? Very good, very good. I'm going to continue. How about just add a little thing to your to your output? Instead of a statement, just add your age to your output. So you will say first name, last name, and then your age. Let's do that. Okay, so this is yeah, this is absolutely great. Very, very good. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, let me just repeat this, right? So basically we want to solve the problem of how to print the quote characters. So if you look at this, whatever you want to print, it must be inside the quotes. Okay, here is a quote and here is another one. So the compiler will look at this string said as the parameter for the print line method. So whatever is afterwards, it's really garbage and it's wrong syntactically to the compiler. While what you wanted to do is to print out the quotes here, right? That's your intention, but that intention is not interpreted by the computer. Remember, the computer only interprets your instruction. So it looks at this, okay, this is what you want to print. That's the end. And this is not okay. It's wrong. So the compiler will not compile, right? That's the problem. So to do that properly, this is what you do. You use the backslash character, okay? For some characters, you need to use the backslash character so that the computer is not confused. Look at this, the beginning quotes, right? I said is the string, and here is another quote, but there is this backslash before it. That means the computer will understand, oh, this is not the end of the string. This is a string that you want to print out, even though it is a quote. So it will print this out, and this is printed out. Okay, this is how you print out the quote, and continues, and this is the end. That's how you do the quotes. Very simple, everybody. After all that talking, you simply add backslash before the quotes. Any questions? Right? It's pretty simple. Just add the backslash, not forward, backslash, okay, in front of the quotes. Why do we need to add the backslash? Why can't we just simply do this? Because the compiler will not misinterpret. The compiler is always right, because the compiler will think this is the end of the string and this is all not correct. It should not be there, so it won't compile. That's why you need to tell the compiler, oh, this is not the end of the string. This is simply a character I want to print out, okay? And that is the output. So not just the double quotes, the single quote and the backslash. If you want to print out the backslash, you need to escape it also. So this is called the escape sequence. Okay, escape sequence, because you want to escape that character. You want to tell the computer that that's what I meant. I didn't mean it to be simply a key character. I mean it to be a tab. Okay, this is not just an and character. This is a new line character. So that's what that is. Any questions, everybody? Okay, let's look at this example. Okay, class header, beginning, ending, method header, beginning, ending of the body. And how many statements are there in this method, everybody? How many?
6.
Go ahead.
6.
6 statements, okay? Anyone else? How many statements?
1.
5.
1, 5?
5.
How many of you say 1? One statement, okay? There is just one statement. So this is the one statement. This whole thing is a string within this parenthesis, everybody, right? So let's look at a string. This is one statement, okay? Let's look at the string. The string is very long. So this is a string. And here is a new line character. Here is a tab. And then continue with violets, a blue, and a new line character. Because this string is so long and you want to make it formatted and look, not look, but easier to read. So you let it go to the next line. And then you use the string concatenator, okay? Beginning of the new string, the next string, characters, new line character, tab, string, quotes, right? New line character, tab, end of the string, and concatenator, beginning of the string, new line character, I'm sorry, text, new line character, tab, text, and concatenation and text. Okay, so let's look at roses are red, and then new line character. So it goes to the next line. And then tab. So here is the tab. So it's a line here. Violets are blue. This is printed out. And then new line character, right there. So it goes to the next line. Because there is no tab, it begins from the beginning. So sugar is sweet, new line character, and tab right there. So it goes to the next line. That's the new line character and the tab. But I have, okay, commitment issues here. That's the double quotes, commitment issues, double quotes, right? And new line character, tab. So it goes to the next line, tab, and then it continues. Any questions about this, everybody?
Dr. Z, I got a question.
Go ahead.
So could you technically only have 4 double quotes in this whole thing? I mean, would it be just really long? If that makes sense.
Just now, you broke off. Either it's my computer or your end. Say it again. Say it again, Derek.
Yeah, my question was, could you technically only have 4 double quotes, like right before roses and then right before
No.
commitment?
No, you cannot have 4 double quotes. Remember, you cannot do that, right? You cannot do that. Whenever you want to, the double quotes is only used at the beginning of the string and the end of the string. Anything within, if it's a double quote, you need to escape it. So this is not okay. If you look at this, I'm not sure if that was the question you were asking, but this is not okay. You cannot have a random double quotes, just randomly jump out. You cannot. You must tell the computer, no, this is not the end of the string. This is just the character I want to print out. How do you tell the computer? You tell the computer with this backslash. That's the computer language. Once you have the backslash there, the computer understands, oh, that's not the end of the string. That's just the character you want to print out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that wasn't the question.
Yeah, you see, that's why I said I'm not sure if that was your question.
So just like that one right there, there's the quote before I, and then there's backslash with the quote, backslash with the double quote, and then it finishes with the quote. Just like that other one that we had. But then the reason why can you go back to the long one? So the reason why we have it like, where is it? Like sugar is sweet. It's because it's long.
Yes.
So if you were to make it really long, could you only have 4, if that makes sense?
Yes, but you don't want to do that.
Okay, because it's just going to look wrong, right?
Points off. The reason, yes, I now understand. You are saying, can we make it just one long line, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Then you will not need these. You will not need this. You will not end that, right? You don't need them, and you don't need that. You just continue. But it's impossible to read for the reviewer, for the reader, for yourself even. You have to keep scrolling to the right side. Yes, but I understand your question now. Yes, you can. Okay, any other questions, everybody?
You wouldn't be able to tab with one long line, would you?
You can still do it. You can just, if you keep doing, you just do. Okay. You just do that and do that and no, that and do that. And you can keep adding those, right? You can keep adding, but and then end it. But it's just difficult to read if you have one long line. As I said, you have to keep scrolling to the right-hand side. Any other questions? Okay. Now let's look at this, okay? I'm giving you more examples here. So look at this, system.out.println, hello. This print out hello with the quotes. So this is the beginning of the string. This is the ending of the string. And this is the double quotes you want to print. This is the double quotes you want to print. Okay, for this prints out a tab, another tab, another tab, and a backslash. Remember, backslash needs to be escaped also, right? Backslash. That's how you print out the backslash. You know, an easier way is simply remember, if you want to print out a tab, this is the 2 character you must use. A new line, 2 characters, return 2 characters, double quotes, single quotes, a backslash. Just remember the 2 characters. Don't even think, oh, that's the escape sequence character there, and that is the character you want to print out. Just remember, just double quotes, you know, just remember the 2 characters. Okay, and this one, beginning of the string, a new line character, a new line character, a double quotes, and that's what this is, right? Because I have 2 new line characters, so the first one goes here, and then there is another one. So you'll have something like that. Any questions? And to do this simply prints out this one forward backward slash. Okay. Okay. So I'm just telling you that. And this is print out a single double quotes, right? Okay, everybody. Now, don't look at that and just do this statement. Do this statement on your own. Write a single print line statement that produces the following output. You know, don't look at this, right? Just do it. Practice on your own. Oh, I need to keep doing this. Okay, now you cannot see anything. So print out this, write a single print line statement, everybody, and print out something like this exactly as is. Okay, I will let you do that. Any questions? So everybody, if you look at this, is this what you?
I'm sorry. Let me go back to it.
Okay. If you look at this, this is there is one more thing that's not done, right? If you look at the assignment, it says print it out exactly as is. And if you look at this output at the bottom, near the bottom, it's not exactly, it's 1 line. If you look at the assignment, it's 2 lines. So how do you make that change, right? Okay, let's look at this one. Thank you all for coming to my home, new line character. Yes, that's exactly it. It's just one little thing, but now it's, yes, it's correct. Okay, everything is as it should be. Very good, very good. Everybody, look at this. This is absolutely correct. Okay, good, good formatting and everything. And so that's that. Okay. I'm going to go on. And you do have the answer here also, everybody. Okay, so we do another exercise. Display your full name as follows, assuming your full name is John Smith. Okay, but so your full name is not John Smith, whatever your full name is. Okay, so you will display it like that. I will let you do that. Everybody, okay, make sure you don't look at the answer, you just do it from your own understanding and effort. Okay, so am I recording? Okay, everybody, if you look at this, that's what I wanted you to do, right? Yes, okay, very good. the 2 backslashes, that's for the backslash, and then another one, and then 2 tabs, and then the double quotes. Very good. You know, gradually you will feel, oh, this is so easy. If you want a backslash, I will just throw out 2, right? If you want a quote, I will just throw out a backslash and a quote. So gradually it becomes very easy. Any questions, everybody? Okay, so we are done with this exercise. And let's go to the next one. Okay, not exercise. Let's go to the new things. Variables and variable declaration. I think I'm going a little bit slow right now. So let's look at variables. A variable is a name for location here. Okay, a variable is a name for a location in memory. Remember, your computer has a CPU, it has memory, right? It has the hard disk, and your chip, your CPU and your memory, they are all on the motherboard. They are integrated, right? So a variable, memory is just like a storage space, like a building. And it's divided into cells, into blocks, into cells. So each block has a name, has a memory address. The memory address is the byte number. It's just a sequence of numbers. So each location has a sequence of numbers that representing the location, the name of that, the location of that memory. So a variable is a name for a location in memory. Just like, you know, if you go to campus, right? We are going to have our class in room 124. 124 is the room number for that location in that building. So if you think about that building, if that building is memory in CPU, 124 is the name for that specific location where you will go to have class. That is what a memory, what a variable is. It's a name for a location in memory that holds a value of a certain data type, okay? During program execution, the value can change, but the data, I need to change that, right? But the data type remains the same. For example, an int variable, an int means an integer, will only be able to store an int value. So if this location is already declared to hold int variables or int values, then it will always hold int. The value can change. It can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3, but it cannot hold strings. An analogy is, you know, our classroom 124 is the name for the for that location, right? For that room. You go in to have class. After you leave, another group of students may come in to have class, and then another group of students may come to have class. So that is declared to be a classroom to hold classes. Only students can come in. They can be different students at different times, but they have to be students only. Not video game players, right? Not little children, not for kindergarten uses. So that is what this is. A memory location has a name. It can, that's when you declare it. You say it will only hold integer. And from then on, the integer value can change, but that integer type cannot. Okay, any questions? Declaring a variable is like asking the system for a location name and name the location with a variable name. The location size should be whatever the data type is. Therefore, you tell the compiler the type of data that the variable can store by preceding the variable name with a type. And this is how you declare a variable. Okay, a variable declaration specifies the variable name and the type of information it will hold. So with all that said, it sounds very complicated, but the declaration statement itself is very simple. This is the data type. Okay, this is the name for a location you are asking for. So you are asking the operating system to give you a location and name it total, and it will be big enough or small enough to hold an integer value. That's what this is saying. Okay, any questions? So this is saying, give me 3 locations, name one count, the other one temp, the other one result, and they all can only hold integer values. That's what this means. Because they all have the same data type, we call this data type, right? Because they all have the same data type, you can separate them with a comma and with that data type in the front, okay? Any questions? With this, you can also just do this, int count, semicolon, and the next line, int, that's an int, everybody, int temp. I'm writing with this pen and it's not easy to write, semicolon. The next line, int result, semicolon. It's the same as this one, okay? So variable declaration with initialization, that means when you declare the variable, you give it a value. It looks like this. The value is 0. So when you do this, the system, the operating system will give you a location. The name for that location is sum, and the value in that location stored is 0. That's called variable declaration with initialization. Okay, you give it an initial value when you declare it. Here, it's only declaring the variable. You're only asking for a location and specify the type. You don't have a value yet. Here, you have a value. That's the difference, okay? And this is, again, the same data type, so you can do it in one line. Any questions, everybody? This is declaring the variable. This is initializing it. You're giving it the value, okay? So when a variable is referenced in the program, the system will go to that memory location and get the value in it and replace the variable name with the value retrieved from the location. So when the variable is referenced in the program, its current value is used to replace the variable name. So let's look at this, okay? Once again, class header, body, method header, body. And this is called variable declaration with initialization. You are declaring a variable, you're asking the operating system to give you a location and name it keys, right? Am I recording? Just make sure, okay. And it should be able to hold an integer. And the value, initial value is 88. So when you do this, okay, this will be replaced with the value. So you are referencing, you are using this variable, right? And when the output, when it executes, when the program executes, this variable will be replaced by the value, because the system will go to that location, get the value, and replace it. Okay, so just now, if you remember, everybody, one student, Kevin or Derek, or who asked the question, why do we need to use string concatenation in one string? Here is an example of why. Because this is a variable name, it's not a string, you have to concatenate it. You cannot put it in the same statement line, in the same string. You cannot do this, right? You cannot do that. If you do that, what will happen, everybody?
That's what it'll type out.
What will be the output?
A piano has keys.
Yes, yes. A piano has keys, not and, but keys. The reason is now this keys is not a memory location anymore. It's part of this string. Okay, so you have to concatenate them because this has the value, right? So this is a string and this is a variable name. So because this is a string, it concatenates the value with this string. And then this is a string now, and it concatenates this string with this string. So that's what is output there. Okay, now this is a practical usage of the string concatenation. Any questions, everybody? Okay, okay, let's do this. I'm asking you to do this. So we might not have enough time, but we have 10 minutes. Let's see if how much you can do. So write a program, declare a variable name age and assign your age to it, and then print out the following statement. Notice they are in 2 lines, right? Declare a variable name the score and assign your quiz score to it and print out the following. So this is just 2 parts. My name, your first name, your last name, and I am whatever your age is. On my last quiz, I received whatever your quiz score is, points. Can you do this? 90
I didn't know.
system.out.print line. My name is John. Everything crashed. Okay. And I'm 19 years old. I'm sorry?
It crashed?
No, not you. Alex said everything crashed. On my last quiz, I received 90 points. Okay, very good. That's correct. Everybody, this is absolutely fantastic. Great work. You are concatenating, don't go yet. You are concatenating the string with the integer variables. You declared and initialized the integer variables. Everything is done correctly, everybody. Okay, very good, John. I will let you go, and this is the correct way to do it. Okay, I think I'm going to stop recording.